It's time for chatting with you. She wants to chat with you. Okay, greetings, dudettes, push of the genders and persuasions. How you all doing? Okay, this is day 6. Now, obviously, yesterday's video hasn't gone live yet because I haven't put it up yet about asking me questions, what do you want me to talk about, sort of thing. So I thought today I'll talk about something that I have obvious experience of, and that is autism. Anybody that doesn't know me, my youngest son Patrick, he's 15 and he has Aspergers Syndrome, which is higher functioning autism. Now, at the moment over here in the UK, and I don't know if it's anywhere else, but they're reclassifying a whole load of autistic spectrum disorder, which is ASD, the scale, because the scale can go from one end where the child is non-communicative, as in they don't speak, they literally do nothing, they just sit and do very little, right up to like Patrick, which is the higher functioning, where you can have an adult conversation with him and not know he has autism. You can have a proper conversation, he can read, he can write, he can talk, no problem. You know, that's how big the scale is. So at the moment, I know there's lots of things going on about rejigging the scale and renaming things and stuff. But anyway, but yeah, so I've always known since he was about 4 that he's a bit different when he started nursery. I mean, I noticed there was nothing wrong with his developmental stage, you know, he was crawling about the same time as his 2 older siblings did. He was talking and babbling and all that sort. You know, it wasn't till he started nursery at the age of about 4 when it really came to light that he had problems. He was always very skittish, right? Say he wanted to do some painting, right? By the time the teachers had put an apron on him, set him up with a bit of paper on the board, give him his fresh paints and brushes, he would get one brush and go, right, that's it, I'm done, I want to go do something else now. And he was always running from one thing to another. He wouldn't sit still at circle time when, you know, everybody sits down, the teachers would read a story after lunch and stuff like that. He wouldn't sit still for that. Then when he went into reception class at the age of 5, that was when the violent side of his autism started to appear. If he didn't get his own way, he would smack, he would scratch, he would bite. He started developing this headbutt where he would just throw his head back like that. I mean, when he was about 7, he actually fractured my cheekbone because he threw his head back. I went to restrain him, didn't move my head quick enough, crack, and he caught me a good one. So yeah, that was when the school he was with was a normal school, she says in quotes because I hate the word normal, was a normal everyday school. And the headmaster there and the teachers there, I have to admit, they were fantastic. They managed to work with me and his dad and to get him into a special school. I hate the word special school as well, you know. It's a specialist school, as in it deals with kids that have that sort of thing. I mean, back then they thought it might have been ADHD or ADD or OCD. They also thought he was SEB kid, which is social emotional behavioural problems. You know, when he went to the specialist school at the age of 5, you know, they weren't 100% sure what was wrong. He didn't have a proper diagnosis then. And while he was at the other school, I'm not going to name names, I must remember not to name names. Right. While he was at the special school, they had him there for 5 years and they worked wonders with him. They really did. When he first started there, all the kids and everybody knew to avoid him because if you looked at him wrong, he would smack you one, right? By the time he left, everybody knew him because he was the fun, bubbly, happy Patrick, you know. The Patrick always telling jokes. I mean, there was the classic, there was one time where I think he was about 9, something like that, and another kiddie was talking to the teacher in the doorway as they were coming in from playtime, and the kiddie was going, I'm good at football, I'm as good with me left foot as I am with me right foot, right? And at that point Patrick heard the conversation. As he walked past, Patrick just went, you're ambidextrous, and carried on walking, and the teacher's like, how does he know a big word like that? But this is the weirdness with the autism, because on the one hand, he knows the big word, and he knows exactly what it means, right? You can't question him about dinosaurs, okay? Oh, he knows anything and everything there is to know about dinosaurs. That was always his speciality when he was younger, you know, even now to some extent. And that's the weirdness with the autism, because on the one hand, you can have an adult conversation with him, but on the other hand, because of his Asperger's, he has problems with emotions. He can't read emotions on people's faces. He might get up close and he doesn't necessarily understand the thing about personal space, right? As he's gotten older, right, he has started to learn more about that, right? But I'll talk about that in a minute. I'll talk about first when he was younger. So when he was younger, he couldn't understand. You know, if you're talking to someone, right, and I'm prattling on about YouTube as an example. I bore the pants off people talking about YouTube and my favourite YouTubers and blah, blah, blah. And I know people don't care, right? But I talk about it anyway. But you can read on somebody's face if they start going... You can read the boredom on their face. Patrick doesn't understand that. He can't read emotions on people's faces. And his emotions himself, he can't describe them. So it's like I can go, right, okay, I'm playing a game, it's gone wrong, I'm upset, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, but what I'll do is I'll leave it, I'll calm down, I'll go back to it later, or I'll just go, I ain't playing that game anymore, it's rubbish, and delete the game or whatever. You know, Flappy Bird's prime example, that game drove me nuts. Deleted it, not playing it anymore. But anyway, Patrick doesn't get that. You know, he can't describe his own emotions. So he might be playing a game, the game goes wrong. The first thing he does is scream, shout, bang something, slam something. I mean, my living room door down here, we've had to repair ourselves at least twice, because the council have repaired it twice, where he slammed it, where he's kicked it off its hinges and stuff like that. And we were told by the council, if it gets damaged anymore, we have to pay for it. So we thought, we'll repair it ourselves. It's now held together with concrete because of the hole in the wall and a nice plank of wood. But anyway, also the other week in the small bedroom, what used to be Patrick's bedroom, he kicked that door so hard it actually took the door frame off. It split the wood and ripped the door frame off. Yeah, that's the downside. Now, as he's gotten older, his violent outbursts have got less, but as he's gotten older and bigger and stronger, they've got more severe. He's got more strength behind him now. Whereas like 5 years ago, he might have kicked the door and he might have made a little dent in it and that would have been it. Now he kicks the door's off its hinges, you know, because he has that much power and strength behind him, which is what I've tried to tell him. He's got into, well, when he left what's classed as a junior school, when he hits 11, he has to go up to the next senior school level. Now, his diagnosis came in the school 6 weeks holidays about now in August, right? So it would have been about 4 or 5 years ago that we finally got his... No, how old is he now? He's 15 and he was 11. So yeah, 4 years ago, we finally got his official diagnosis. I told the woman on the minibus, because he used to go in transport because the school was so far away. I told the woman on the minibus that, we had to restrain, now she's had to restrain him herself. Now he's kicked off on the minibus, so has the staff in school. And they taught me how to restrain him, right? So I'm not just going like grabbing him and holding him down and pinning him down by his throat. So don't get that idea before anybody goes like, you don't treat your child like that. When your child, right, is coming at you with a large piece of wood or a big toy or something like that, and you are not only afraid for yourself, but you're afraid for the other people around you, right? And you're afraid that child is going to hurt themselves, okay? So I just want to get... The last thing you want to do is restrain your child. But sometimes you just have no choice, okay? Believe you me. I've seen it done to him in school. I've had to do it myself, okay? And... excuse me a moment. It is not a pleasant thing to have to do to your own child. And like I said, luckily now, as he's gotten older, personally, I don't have to restrain him anymore. It is very, very rare I have to restrain him anymore. Sorry about that, but yeah, when I'm talking about my own child, I do get a bit emotional. But anyway, yeah, so his diagnosis came through in the school 6 weeks holidays of Aspergers Syndrome. By then, it was already decided he was going to the school he's at now, right? Which was for social, emotional, behavioural SEB kids. Now, the school he is at now, from the word go, they said it was the wrong school. He's been there now, the coming September, this will be his 4th and last year there. And the school have done nothing. Okay, I could rant and rage for the next 3 years or more about the school he's in at the moment, right? Hence why I've took the decision now, which I wish I took last year, although the school took me out of it, about taking him out and homeschooling him. I'm trying to work with education welfare and special education needs people and stuff like that at the moment to try and sort all that out. The school he's at, I've seen them restrain him in the way that I was told you don't restrain him. And also I've done parenting courses, I'm a member of the Autistic Society, I've done a load of research online. As soon as I got that diagnosis, that was it. I did a load of research and stuff, right? So I know how to handle him now and how to speak to him. Although I have to admit, sometimes it just gets so frustrating. You just have to walk away from him and go like, no, I can't reason with you right now because you're upset, angry or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so the school he's at now have restrained him in ways I've told them not to. They have spoke to him in ways, well, I'm not going to go into it. Either way, the school he's at, and has been for the last few years, is crap, hence why I'm taking him out. But that's enough on that subject, because, people that know me know what I say about his school. But anyway, yeah, so just a little chat about autism. If anybody has any questions about it, feel free to ask me. I'll be open and honest. There's no point in hiding it, you know. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. He is a pain in the ass, but he's my pain in the ass and I wouldn't have him any other way. Okay, and before anybody asks, no, medication will not help him. Because we sort of thought of that route a couple of years ago, but no, there's no medication that will help him. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to end this here because this has probably turned into a really long vlog and a really long rant and stuff. But I hope you find some of the information interesting. Like I said, any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will answer them openly and honestly. And yeah, can't think of what else to say now, so I'll sign off. Anyway, you all take care. Oh, any suggestions of what you want me to talk about? Again, leave that in the comments, alright? So you take care and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.